I hope you're well, okay, good, great, amazing. Yeah, it's a tough period for most of us. So much to do in so little time. Well, this morning, before I get into the political campaigning and scenes and sounds from the campaign trail, there was news on the performance of the Jamaican economy yesterday from the Planning Institute of Jamaica, the PIOJ that is. They reported yesterday that the economy grew modestly in the second quarter of this year. And this is a continuation of the economic recovery following the impact last July of Beryl. According to the PIOJ, the country's gross domestic product GDP increased by 1.4% over the corresponding period in 2024. And according to the Institute, this was driven primarily by notable, significant gains in agriculture, which outperformed its pre-Hurricane Beryl growth rate. Siobhan Campbell has the details.
According to Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, Dr. Wayne Henry, the modest growth signals the country's continued recovery from the major weather-related shocks of 2024.
Today, we are reporting that the Jamaican economy recorded an estimated growth of 1.4% compared with the corresponding quarter, April to June of 2024. The outturn for the review quarter largely reflected continued growth in most industries: agriculture, forestry and fishing, and the accommodation and food services industries. Two industries that were hardest hit by the weather-related disruptions of 2024 were key drivers of this positive performance. Both industries have entered into a new growth phase, with current output levels surpassing their pre-Hurricane Beryl output levels.
Growth was driven primarily by gains in the goods-producing sectors of 3.8%. Agriculture was the standout performer, nearing double-digit gains for the quarter.
The goods-producing industry grew by an estimated 3.8%, with improved performances recorded for 3 of the 4 industries, namely agriculture, forestry and fishing, manufacturing, and construction. The mining and quarrying industry was estimated to have recorded a contraction due to weakened demand and technical challenges. Agriculture, forestry, and fishing. Real value added for the agriculture industry grew by an estimated 9.8%. This outturn primarily reflected the impact of more favorable weather conditions, which contributed to an increase in output per hectare and an 11% expansion in the area of domestic crops reaped.
The services industries recorded only marginal growth of 0.5% for the same period. Growth in this sector was led primarily by tourism, as represented by accommodations and food services. This grew by 2.5%. There's also good news for the Jamaican economy's future prospects. The PIOJ is anticipating 2 to 3% growth for the next quarter.
Short-term prospects for the overall economy are positive, largely associated with the continuation of the recovery momentum as all industries are projected to record growth. This performance will largely be supported by 1. The recovery from the low production base during the corresponding quarter of 2024, when most industries were adversely impacted by Hurricane Beryl. In particular, agriculture production continues to benefit from the post-hurricane support to the industry, which has resulted in record levels of production for several crop groups. And it's what we call the new growth phase. And this augurs well for the related WR trim industry.
Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Siobhan. So some positive news there from the economic indicators. Yeah, it could be in the other direction, but we're back to pre-Beryl levels, and that's good. Yes. The problem, though, the fundamental problem of growth in Jamaica, the growth is too weak. 1.4%. Too weak. We need to be growing at a robust rate, more like 3, 4, 5%. When we begin to grow at that robust rate, yeah, then more and more people will feel it, yes, and we can have more resources to take care of the many needs there are, including, yeah, greater levels of salaries, wages, fringe benefits, yeah. Another piece of data that we have been reporting and will continue to report because it is so important. One of the major obstacles to growth in Jamaica for a very, very long time has been crime, murders, robberies, shootings, and it is now a clearly established trend, yes, that major crimes have been going down now for the last 2.5 through going 3 years, and accelerated this year to 43% reduction in murders. And there's a clearly established trend now. It has been around 40% for the last several months. And according to the latest data as we hear in this report from Shalois Michael, it's now down 43%.
Up to August 16, 422 homicides had been committed across the island. That's 318 fewer than the 740 murders recorded in the corresponding period last year. The JCF says St. Andrews South remains a hot spot, leading the country's murder tally with 50. The division recorded 51 fewer murders than the 87 committed in the period last year. According to the force, shootings also saw a major decline. The JCF says shootings dropped by 35%, coming in at 436. It's over 200 fewer than the 677 recorded in the similar period last year. St. James took the top spot with the highest drop in both major crimes. According to the force, the division recorded 51 fewer murders than the 87 committed in the period last year. In relation to shootings, St. James had 48 fewer incidents than the 83 recorded up to August 16 last year. The only other major crime to report a decline is rape, which is down by 25%. However, the JCF says break-ins and robberies are still increasing. Both major crimes rose by 26% and 9% respectively up to August 16. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Shaloy. So there you have the numbers. I know some people don't like to hear that news because crime has been a politically controversial issue in Jamaica for the last 40 years. We haggle and we politicize it. But we're in a new era now where the data keep coming at us. And you have to concede that the effort led by the administration of Holness, supported by the security forces, the men and women in the forces, we're seeing the benefits, yeah, of a reduction in crime. Yeah. Now to the political campaign. And we have a lot of material from the campaign to share with you this morning. The